Hi, my name is Mark I. Jacobson, and this is the first video podcast I'm doing in my Writer's Life podcast series. I thought I'd take a shot and see how it worked out. This is me, beard, long hair, and everything. You can thank COVID for both of those, but I actually decided I liked it. It's who I am because I've always been who I am. I don't try to be someone I'm not. Which brings me to the subject of this podcast. There's a subject that's going around these days, mostly in political circles, of the way people should be. Mostly about how the way men and women should be. And I thought I would bring up another story to kind of put it all in perspective. About 71 years ago, a group of very smart people, experts in their field, they had masters and PhDs, and they had practiced in their field for a long time, tried to tell my folks who I was. About a year earlier, I'd been born premature, and about this time, we found out I couldn't walk, and they diagnosed me with cerebral palsy. They tried to tell my folks what to expect from me. They laid out the parameters. This is what he can do. This is what he can't do. And pretty much told them that society wouldn't accept anything else. They wanted them to treat me in a certain way. Because if they treated me any differently than that, they would be disappointed. Because they knew from everything they had been told in medical school and in their own practices in society that what they were telling me were my limits. And I guess they thought they would save me a lot of grief by not building my hopes up and making it seem as if I could do something I couldn't. Well, I was only a year old, so I was too young to know any different. And basically anything my folks would have told me, I would have believed. Because they were my folks. They told them what schools I should be in. They told them what I should be prepared to experience as I went through my early years and teenage years and growing into adulthood. They told them all this. And it was very well documented. This is what people believed. This is the way it had always been. And there was no reason to believe that I would be any different. And after all these experts got through telling him everything I could and couldn't do, they didn't listen. And as I grew up, they told me what they had been told, but they also told me I didn't have to listen. And so I didn't. The plain fact is, that I went through hell because I didn't listen. Life would have been much easier if I had conformed to what society expected me to be. But it wasn't me, and I couldn't do that. So I paid the price. It was painful. It was all-consuming, and it was disappointing at times. And I spent most of 2 decades in a wheelchair while I tried to break out of the mold that they said I should be in. They said I should stay in the wheelchair. They said I could be in a wheelchair, be carried, or crawl. And that would be it. I didn't believe them. More importantly, my folks didn't believe them. And 22 years later, after never having been away from home for more than 48 hours at a time, I got on a plane and flew 2,500 miles away to a place I'd never been to, where I knew no one, to go to school. I did this after leaving behind the wheelchair. I'd done that 6 months earlier. The wheelchair that they told me I would never get out of. My folks saw me off. They were stoic. They were supportive. And as I found out later, were very worried as that plane took off. But they didn't want me to be in society's version of what I should be. And they didn't want me to be in that box. They wanted me to break out of that box, to be who I thought I should be, to be who I felt I should be. And so I got on that plane. And to make a long story short, because it is a long story, it is more than 70 years worth of stories. I graduated. I moved to Los Angeles. I knew one person when I got there. I started a career that I probably shouldn't have been able to start because I had no one to help me. As a magazine feature writer. And I lived in LA for 13 years. And it was an earthquake in my life, good and bad. As part of that earthquake, I was literally broken apart and put back together again. As the theme from the $6 Million Man said, we can make him stronger, faster, better. And it did. And along the way, I changed some lives. I know one life personally that I changed. There are many more that I don't know. that I will never know, and they will never know me. But their lives will change because of what I did. I guess the point of all this is that I could have been what society expected me to be. Because society likes safe things. Society likes to know that the way things are the way things will be because that's the way they've always been. And then society met me. And I refuse to be that way. And I still refuse to be that way. I honestly don't act my age and I don't apologize for it. We live in a society where we like to tell people what they are, what they should believe in, and who they should listen to. And if they do none of those things, there's something wrong with them. And a lot of people believe that, whether because of religious beliefs or political beliefs or just plain old, this is what I believe. But if I had listened, if my folks had listened to what all the experts told them, to what the PhDs and the masters and the experience told them, if they had put me in that box when they passed away about 35 years ago, I would be sitting in a wheelchair. And today, I would be sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home. Because that's what they were told would happen to me. No expectations, because he won't be able to live up to them, no matter how much he tries. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be put in a box. We shouldn't allow others to tell us who we are, how we should act, and what we're allowed to do. But we do. We allow politicians, the least qualified people alive, to make those decisions on our behalf. They make those decisions based on their life experiences of being told the way things are and believing them and living them and then expecting others to live in the same way. Whether it's politics or religion or anything else, we all are a product of what we've been told, unless we break out. Unfortunately, in our society, breaking out is frowned upon. We must conform, or others will find us dangerous. My philosophy of life has never been to be happy or to make other people happy or all those things you hear people say about what life is all about. To me, life is about one thing and one thing only. It's about leaving this place a little bit better off than you found it. Even if I have to do it one person at a time. I had a friend of mine who passed away just a few years ago. And I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she tracked me down. And one of the things she wanted to tell me, and at the time I didn't know that she was dying, was that she wanted to thank me for helping her find her way. And I helped her find her way by showing her she could be whatever she wanted to be, whoever she wanted to be, and I would help her. And just about a year or so later, she passed away. That's what I mean by leaving this place a little better off than we found it. It's not up to us to change people, to tell them they have to conform to who we are, because that's what we believe. They have to find out who they are, in the same way that I did. If we allow politicians and religious leaders or their followers to define who we are as individuals, then we have truly lost our identity. And we will be raising a generation of lost children, of lost grandchildren, of lost human beings. Not everyone's going to agree with this podcast. I don't expect them to. I don't want them to. I want them to decide what they believe, not what I tell you or don't tell you. It won't give me an ego boost if you tell me you like this. It won't make me feel bad if you tell me you don't. But I just want people to think about it. Not in terms of a political party or a religion or a family member who tells you the way things should be. But I want you to think about it in terms of how you think it should be. And be that person. As long as you don't go out and hurt other people in the process of becoming that person, there's nothing wrong with being whatever person you believe yourself to be. And hold your head up high. You don't have to be cocky. You don't have to be narcissistic. But you can be proud of the person you choose to be, even if society doesn't believe that's the person you should be. Until we meet again, take care.